Good morning, students. In today's class, we will continue the concept that is amines versus ammonia basic strength. In yesterday's class, we have seen what about the aliphatic amines basic nature when compared to ammonia. In gaseous phase as well as in aqueous phase, in both phases we have seen. In gaseous phase, we considered plus A effect and we wrote the basic strength of primary, secondary, tertiary and tertiary amines and ammonia order. As well as in aqueous phase also, we considered all the three effects: solvation effect, next steric endurance, plus A effect. All the three effects are at a time we have collaborated, or at a time we have just implemented, and we have gone the order of basic strengths of primary, secondary and tertiary amines when alkyl group is methyl group as well as ethyl group. Okay, up to that we completed aliphatic amines basic strength when compared to amines, ammonia. Now in today's class we'll just go through basic strength of ammonia versus aromatic amines. Basic strength of ammonia versus aromatic amines. Now let us see pKb value of aromatic amines is greater than ammonia. What is the meaning of this line? pKb value of aromatic amine is greater than ammonia. Meaning of that one, pKb value of aromatic amine is greater. That means basic strength is less. pKb value of aromatic amine is greater. That means basic strength of aromatic amine is less than ammonia. Why? What is the reason? Okay, let us see for explanation for that one. This is aromatic amine. N contains lone pair of electrons. If it is reacted with H plus, it will form NH3 plus. See all of you, this lone pair of electrons present on nitrogen will be donated to H plus. Then this lone pair is donated, then N is getting plus, NH3 plus. This is aniline and this is anilinium ion. This is aniline, this is anilinium ion. Now, yesterday also we told, like this ammonium ion is formed when this amine donates lone pair of electrons to H plus. Okay, now my question is, if it is highly stable, it is highly basic. Why? If it is highly stable, this aniline donates the lone pair of electrons very fastly, because to be converted to stable state, this is highly stable, I am telling. Means this aniline every time it wants to be converted to anilinium ion. How it will be converted to anilinium ion? By donating lone pair of electrons. So what is going to happen? This one will donate the lone pair of electrons easily. The substance which can donate the lone pair of electrons easily, that is called strong base, according to Lewis base. Okay. Now how it will donate the lone pair of electrons easily? Because this is highly stable. Now one more thing, if it is less stable, if this anilinium ion is less stable, it is less basic. Why? If it is less stable, it doesn't want to be converted to less stable form. That means it doesn't want to donate the lone pair of electrons easily. It doesn't want to donate the lone pair of electrons easily. The substance which cannot donate the lone pair of electrons easily, less basic. It is less basic. Okay. So depending on the stability of this anilinium ion, we can explain what about the basic nature of this aniline. That is the thing we are depending. Shall I go through? Now, after completion of this, I will check with stability of aniline as well as stability of anilinium ion. Separately, I will discuss that one. Finally, we will compare what about the stability of anilinium ion and what is the stability of aniline. Okay, na? By using resonance structures, we will go through. Shall I go through? I think you are clear about this one. If this is highly stable, this is highly basic. If this is less stable, this is less basic. That is the logic here. Because if it is highly stable, it wants to be converted to this stable form. How it will be converting? By donating lone pair of electrons easily. The substance which can donate the lone pair of electrons easily, that is highly basic in nature. Correct? Next, if it is less stable, it doesn't want to be converted to this unstable form. Then it will not donate the lone pair of electrons easily. Then it is less basic. So if it is highly stable, this is highly basic. If this is less stable, this is less basic. Depending on that, we are going to discuss. Now, first I will go through the stability of aniline. After that, I will go through the stability of aniline ion. Okay, ma? Let us see. Stability of aniline. First, nitrogen contains lone pair of electrons, will be donated here as double bond, and this double bond is shifted as negative charge. Now, this negative charge is shifted as double bond, and this double bond is shifted as negative charge. Next, this negative charge is shifted as double bond. At that time, this double bond is shifted as negative charge. Next, this is shifted as double bond. At that time, this double bond is shifted as lone pair of electrons. Draw the arrow marks very neatly, keenly. Observe, all of you. Now, final structure. Again, it came as lone pair. These are the resonance structures of aniline. How many resonance structures of aniline we observed? 5. Stability of aniline. Aniline will show 5 resonance structures. In that, negative charge is flowing onto ortho position, next para, again ortho. Finally, again it is coming as lone pair. These many resonance structures are possible for aniline. Now, what is the aniline ion? That one we are going to see. Stability of aniline ion. Okay. NH3 plus. Please observe carefully. In aniline, nitrogen contains lone pair of electrons. Because of that, lone pair of electrons are involved into benzene ring. But in aniline ion, nitrogen has no lone pair of electrons. It has only positive charge. Okay. Then this double bond cannot be shifted as double bond here because nitrogen cannot form 5 bonds now. See, this one will be shifted as like this, sir. This is getting positive. This is getting like that. It is not possible because if this bond is shifted here, nitrogen contains already 3 hydrogens. Then here double bond will be. Correct, no? Nitrogen should form 5 bonds. When this bond is shifted here, nitrogen should form 5 bonds. But nitrogen cannot form 5 bonds. Maximum valency of nitrogen is only 4. That's why it is not possible at all. This bond shifts towards double bond like that. CN double bond. Are you understanding, ma'am? This bond cannot become double bond. Okay, so it is not at all possible. Then what are the resonance structures for aniline possible? That is, this bond will be shifted here, this bond will be shifted here, and this bond will be shifted. Like this it will show. Structure. This is. Further, no resonance structure will be possible because nitrogen does not contain lone pair of electrons. No? As nitrogen does not contain lone pair of electrons, they cannot be involved in benzene ring. So, no resonance structures with lone pair of electrons present on nitrogen like this, it is not possible. Only two resonance structures for aniline ion. Those are these two only, in benzene ring only, without involvement of the positive charge present on nitrogen. See, there is no chance of getting this bond as double bond. Already I told, nitrogen cannot form 5 bonds. So, only two resonance structures are possible for aniline ion. For aniline, how many are there? 5. Which one has more number of resonance structures, that is more stable? Which one has more number of resonance structures, that is highly stable? Correct? Then which is more stable? Aniline is more stable than aniline ion. If aniline is more stable than aniline ion, can aniline converts to aniline ion easily? No, because it is less stable when compared to aniline. So aniline doesn't want to be converted to aniline ion because other side that is less stable. That's why aniline doesn't want to be converted to aniline ion. If it doesn't want to be converted to aniline ion, it cannot donate lone pair of electrons easily. That is, it is less basic when compared to ammonia. It is less basic when compared to ammonia. When it is less basic, it has higher pKb value. pKb value of aromatic amine is greater than ammonia. Why it is greater than ammonia? pKb value greater means it is less basic. pKb value less means it is more basic. Okay, one more time. Out of aniline and aniline ion, which is more stable? Aniline is more stable when compared to aniline ion. That's why that aniline doesn't want to be converted to aniline ion. Then what will be happen? It doesn't want to be converted to aniline ion. Then it cannot donate the lone pair of electrons easily. Then it is less basic. Less basic means automatically it has higher pKb value, lower Kb value. This is the reason. Basic strength of ammonia versus aromatic amines. Aromatic amines are less basic than ammonia. Ammonia is less basic than aliphatic amines. I will write that order. You can note down now. I think you understood this one. So you can write one note point, or after completion of this one point you can write, not like a note, no? Simply. Out of aniline and aniline ion, aniline is more stable than aniline ion because it has more number of resonance structures. Okay, when aniline is more stable than aniline ion, it doesn't want to be converted to aniline ion. It doesn't want to be donating the lone pair of electrons. Because of that, it is less basic. When it is less basic, it has higher pKb value. These points you can note down. Okay, so when compared to ammonia, if you see this aniline, that is aromatic amines. Aromatic amines are less basic than ammonia, and ammonia is less basic than aliphatic amines. This is the thing, order. Okay, ma? I will write that order. I am going to erase this one, ma. So finally, basic strength of order aromatic amines less than ammonia. Ammonia less than aliphatic amines. This is basic strength order. pKb order reverse. If it is less basic, it has higher pKb value. Okay, ma? Then order of pKb values. Which one has higher pKa value? Aromatic amine. So aromatic amine is greater than ammonia, greater than aliphatic amines. Okay, ma? This is about basic strength order and order of pKa values. So this is clear explanation about basic strength of amines versus ammonia, as well as ammonia versus aromatic amines. What is the order also we have seen. What is the clear explanation also we have seen. Everything is clear. This is first chemical property. Okay, under chemical properties we have started with first one, that is basic strength of amines. Started with heading basic strength of amines versus ammonia. In aqueous phase as well as in gaseous phase, both things we have seen. Now we compare this aromatic amines with ammonia. Okay, ma? This is about clear explanation. This is under chemical property 1. Second one we will go through now. Okay, second. Acylation. Okay, first C2H5N lone pair H. This is primary amine. It is going to react with CH3 C double bond O Cl. Acylation is nothing but RCO group. RCO group introduction. Okay, see, R C double bond O group will be introduced into amine. The process of introducing that RCO group into amine is called acylation. Okay, ma? Generally that R group is CH3. Acyl group is nothing but CH3CO. Major conditions we will take like that. That's why CH3CO group we have taken. Okay, now what is going to happen? Observe. Lone pair of electrons present on nitrogen. Observe carefully, all of you. He is going to be donated towards this carbon. At that time, this carbon double bond is there, na? Pi bond is shifted towards oxygen. Then we will get C2H5. This is primary minima. C2H5 N H. This nitrogen is going to form bond with this carbon, na? This carbon O minus Cl CH3. N is getting positive charge. N is getting positive charge, man. Okay, now what is going to happen? See, at that time, in next step, this O minus is there, na? I think you are clear with this one, na? First step. This nitrogen is going to form bond with this carbon. Okay, next. When this nitro charge is coming as double bond again, this chlorine will be left out as Cl minus. Chlorine will be left out as Cl minus. At the same time, this N plus higher nitro atom is not stable with positive charge. Then any two hydrogens are there, na? Any one hydrogen bond will be shifted as lone pair. It is coming out as H plus and this is coming out as Cl minus. So finally we will get C2H5NH. Again it got lone pair, na? Because this bond is shifted as lone pair, na? So nitrogen got lone pair, bond C double bond O CH3 plus HCl. What is the substance it is avoided? This is coming out as H plus and this is coming out as Cl minus. Both are combined to form HCl. Okay, HCl is formed. But this is reversible reaction now. If you leave like that, immediately again this HCl will be reacted with this one to be formed as again initial product. That's why what we are going to do, we are going to use one base that is called pyridine. We are going to use one base that is called pyridine. What is the use of this pyridine? Pyridine is basic in nature. Structure of pyridine is this one now. That is structure of pyridine. Pyridine is basic in nature. Okay, nitrogen is there and lone pair is there. So this is basic in nature. it will neutralize the acid present. This pyridine will neutralize the acid because this is basic in nature, this is acidic in nature. Both are reacted to form neutralization. Then immediately what will be happen? HCl will be removed. When HCl is removed with pyridine, backward reaction is not possible. That's why backward reaction will not be happen. Equilibrium will be shifted towards right side. That side only. That means product will be formed. If you don't remove that HCl for time being, immediately that backward reaction will be happen because this is equilibrium. This one is a reversible reaction in which HCl will be reacted with this one to form the products again. Sorry, reactants again. That's why to avoid that one, this reaction is happened in the presence of pyridine. Okay. Now what is going to be happen when pyridine is used? Pyridine will neutralize the HCl formed. Because of that, immediately if HCl is removed, okay then what will be happen? Backward reaction is not at all possible. So this is the reaction. Here what is happening? See, final product this one. C2H5NH2. Instead of one hydrogen, we introduce a COCH3. Instead of this hydrogen, we introduce a COCH3. The COCH3 group is called acyl or acetyl. Acyl or acetyl group. Introduction of that acetyl group into the amine instead of that hydrogen, that is called acylation. That is called acylation. I think you are clear about this reaction. In the same way, second A reaction, this is second chemical property A reaction. B reaction also is there, that is benzoylation. Same way, amines will react with benzoyl chloride. Okay, same process only. I will show that one. Benzoyl chloride to form the according to product. Okay, that process is called benzoylation. This process is called acylation. We will see that one. Let us see. Second B, benzoylation. This benzoylation is nothing but, let us consider again same example, C2H5, N lone pair, H is going to react with C double bond O, Cl. Instead of CH3 in previous one, now we have phenyl. This is called benzoyl chloride. This is called benzoyl chloride. Okay. Now this is benzoyl group. This introduction of this benzoyl group into amine. That's why this process is called benzoylation. Simple, same thing. Lone pair of electrons are there. Instead of same procedure like that, we will do one thing. Hydrogen present on nitrogen and chlorine present on benzoyl chloride will be evolved as HCl. Then this nitrogen is going to react with the C double bond O. We will get the product C2H5, N lone pair, H, C double bond O, benzene ring. See, C6H5, C double bond O. This group is called benzoyl group. We are introducing, instead of one hydrogen present in amine, we are introducing benzoyl group, that is called benzoylation. Okay, this reaction plus HCl. Again, same thing will be happening in presence of pyridine. It will neutralize the HCl formed. Okay, this is second chemical property. First chemical property, totally entire, it is basic strength of amines. Second chemical property, it is acylation as well as benzoylation. Okay, shall we go to next one? We will go to third one. Okay, we will continue with third one. Third one is nothing but alkylation. Okay, this process is nothing but ammonolysis. See, ammonolysis of alkyl halide. Ammonolysis of alkyl halide will form amines. Okay, now in the same way, actually ammonolysis is nothing but ammonia. Instead of this ammonolysis, ammonia, we are taking amine now. Amine means RNH2. RNH2 will react with RCl, alkyl halide. RNH2 will react with RCl. Now what is going to happen? See ma, these two hydrogens I am writing it as separately, RNH2 like this. Chlorine present on this alkyl halide and hydrogen present on this one will be evolved as HCl. Previous same like this here also will be evolved as HCl, and this nitrogen is going to form bond with RNHR. What is happened here? Instead of one hydrogen present in amine, R group is introduced. Introduction of R group is called alkyl group only. Introduction of R group into amine is called alkylation. Introduction of acyl group into amine is called acylation. Introduction of benzoyl group into amine is called benzoylation. Like this here, introduction of R group into amine, that is called alkylation. Okay, this is simple. Already we have seen what about ammonolysis of this alkyl halide. Ammonolysis of alkyl halide is not stopped with primary amine. It will be extended to secondary as well as tertiary also. Even there is a chance to form quaternary ammonium salts also. Here we will get mixture. Same way we will discuss the chemical properties also. Okay, but instead of this ammonia, we will start with primary amine. Primary amine will form secondary amine. Secondary amine again it will react with RCl to form tertiary amine. Okay, these are the properties like third one, that is alkylation. Shall we go to fourth one? Okay, I think we are clear with this one. Next, fourth one. Fourth one, carbylamine reaction. What is this carbylamine? First, carbylamine is also called isocyanide, NC. CN is called cyanide, NC is called isocyanide. Okay, carbylamine reaction. In this reaction, we will get isocyanide as the product. Okay, what is the thing? Let's see. RNH2 reacts with chloroform in presence of alkali. That alkali might be KOH or NaOH. No problem. Sometimes we will say it as NaOH, or sometimes we will say it as KOH. Anything alkali. Okay. This RNH2 reacts with chloroform in presence of KOH. We will get RNC isocyanide. This is carbylamine. RNC will be formed plus KCl plus H2O. Balancing of the reaction, it is not a problem. KCl plus H2O. Main theme of this reaction is, this is exclusive for primary amines only. Primary amines only will respond to this one, and even this is one of the tests, because this carbylamine what is formed, okay, that is contained by foul smelling. Foul, very bad smell it is contained by. One more time, whatever the carbylamine it is formed, this carbylamine contains foul smell. Okay, in lab I have done this experiment. First I will take whatever the given substance. Actually the given substance is amine or any other thing, we don't know. Otherwise already we have done amine test. Now we want to know that is primary amine or not. Okay, now I took that amine into test tube. Into the test tube I added this chloroform as well as KOH. Okay, and I heated that one. Then what will be, reaction will be happen. Immediately I will get foul smelling. that is carbylamine is formed inside, na? That carbylamine will be getting foul smell. By smelling that one, immediately I will understand that that is carbylamine is formed. How this carbylamine is formed? This is characteristic for primary amine. Otherwise, any other thing will not form. Okay, so by that I will understand that primary amine is present. Okay, this is one of the tests for amines, primary amine. This is exclusive for primary amine only. Second and tertiary amines won't respond carbylamine test. So this carbylamine reaction is also called carbylamine reaction test. Sorry, carbylamine reaction is also called carbylamine test for primary amines. Remember, this carbylamine, whatever it is formed, it is foul smelling. Okay, carbylamine is also called isocyanate. Okay, ma? This is the test. Remember, these tests, named reactions, all these are very important. You have to practice well. Okay, what are the reagents? RNH2 reacts with chloroform in presence of KOH. We will get carbylamine. Okay, this is isocyanate, which is contained by foul smelling. By observing the smell of that foul smelling compound, immediately we will understand that our given compound contains primary amine. Otherwise, we will shift to any other thing. Okay, ma? This is fourth reaction. Shall we go to next one? Okay. Fifth one. Reaction with nitrous acid. Nitrous acid is nothing but HNO2. Actually, this reaction is very familiar to us. If you have remembered Sandmaze reaction in haloalkanes and haloarenes, what is the first step? Diazotization. I think you remember that one. The diazotization is involved with reagent NaNO2 plus HCl at 0 degree centigrade. This 0 degree centigrade, sometimes they will say, are 273 Kelvin. 273 Kelvin is nothing but 0 degree centigrade, very low temperature. At low temperature, okay, NaNO2 plus HCl is there, na? Sodium nitrite plus HCl. These two are reacted to form HNO2 only. These two are reacted to form HNO2. But directly we will not take. This is like in situ. Inside the reaction itself, we are going to generate that HNO2. Okay, ma? By taking original reagents, those are NaNO2 plus HCl. But sometimes they will give direct heading reaction with nitrous acid. This reaction with nitrous acid is nothing but diazotization only. Reaction with nitrous acid is nothing but diazotization. Okay, now primary amines, secondary amines, and tertiary amines. These three, in three different ways, they will react with HNO2. Primary amine, secondary amine, tertiary amine. Those three will react in three different ways. But in our book, they give only reaction with primary amine only. Secondary and tertiary also, once I will refer and I will send to you if any reaction is given. Okay, but in our CBSE range, that secondary and tertiary amines reaction with nitrous acid, they did not mention. Okay, but if you want, I will just go through and I will send to you, no problem. But now, primary, secondary, and tertiary, they will in a different ways, they will undergo reaction with nitrous acid. Now, first thing, primary amine I am taking, CH3, CH2, NH2. Okay, this is going to react with NaNO2 plus HCl, that is nothing but HNO2. Anything, no problem. NaNO2 plus HCl or HNO2 at 0 degree centigrade or 273 Kelvin, we will get CH3, CH2, N2 plus Cl minus, diazonium salt. Diazonium chloride will be formed. Formation of this diazonium chloride in Sandmaze reaction, first step, the process is called diazotization. The process is called diazotization. Immediately, it will undergo reaction with warm water. Actually, in this reagent itself, water is there, okay. Then we will get alcohol, CH3CH2OH plus N2. This N2 gas is liberated out. Instead of this N2, OH from water will be substituting. Then we will get alcohol. It is very important reagent. We have, after completion of this amines, now we are in chemical properties. Few more chemical properties if you study, amines will be completed. After that amines, separate topic is there, that is diazonium salts. In the diazonium salts, everything it is related to this diazonium salt only, how it will be converted to another. See, here we got alcohol. Directly alkanes we will get. Directly haloalkanes we will get. Like that conversions are there. Sandwich reaction, if you remember, we have converted that benzene diazonium chloride to haloalkane. Second step. That is called Sandwich reaction. Correct, ma? Like that, this diazonium chlorides can be converted to very highly important organic compounds. That's why this is very important substance which we have to remember very carefully. In conversions also, this substance is very important. Okay, so many things they are related to diazonium salts. Okay, this one. So remember this carefully. In the same way, aromatic primary amines also they will undergo reaction. So see that one. Aniline will undergo reaction with NaNO2 plus HCl at 0 degree centigrade. We will get benzene diazonium chloride. Benzene diazonium chloride. Immediately it will react with warm water to form phenol plus N2. OH from this phenol is going to substitute this one. Generally this type of substitution will not be happen on benzene ring, but this is less stable. Okay, na? Nitrogen can be avoided easily. That's why only at lower temperature we are preferring this reaction. Okay. Now OH from this one will substitute this one and N2 will be liberated. We will get phenol. See, that is very important organic compound we have prepared. We are converting this diazonium chloride to phenol, converting diazonium salt to alcohol. That's why it is very important conversion. Next coming diazonium chloride, at that time again once I will repeat that one. Okay, ma? This is about fifth reaction. Reaction with nitrous acid. What is meant by that nitrous acid? Nitrous acid HNO2. That nitrous acid is generated from NaNO2 plus HCl only. This process is nothing but diazotization only. Okay. This diazotization will be happened at lower temperature in situ reaction. Means inside the reaction itself, this HNO2 is generated. Directly it won't be. So the formed diazonium chloride, that is very less stable at room temperature. That's why this reaction must be happened at lower temperature, 0 degree centigrade. Otherwise diazonium chloride will not be stable. We will not get the product also. This should be happened in lower temperature because diazonium chloride is very less stable. Okay, ma? Now normal primary amines will be responding in this way. Secondary and tertiary amines in another way they will respond. That reaction also once I will different I will send to you. Okay, ma? This is about reaction with nitrous acid. I think you are clear about this one. What about chemical properties? Recalling, first one basic nature, second one acylation, and the second one two we have studied, acylation and benzylation. Next, third one ammonolysis, that is alkylation. Third one alkylation, fourth one carbylamine reaction, fifth one reaction with nitrous acid. Reaction with nitrous acid. Okay, ma? Shall we go to sixth one? Let us see. Note down. Next, sixth one. Reaction with benzene sulfonyl chloride. Which is called Hinsberg reagent. reaction with benzene sulfonyl chloride. That benzene sulfonyl chloride is called Hinsberg reagent. Okay, now let us see in what way it is going to react. First, I am taking example primary amine C2H5NH2. Benzene sulfonyl chloride formula S double bond O Cl benzene ring. C6H5 SO2Cl. C6H5 SO2Cl, that is the formula, and this is the structure. Okay, now primary amine is going to react with this one. In what way? Simply I am writing now, this chlorine and this H will be evolved as HCl minus HCl. Okay, then what is going to happen? This nitrogen is going to form bond with sulfur. C2H5 N H S double bond O benzene ring. This is called N-ethyl benzene sulfonamide. SULPHONAMIDE. N-ethyl benzene sulfonamide. When amines react with benzene sulfonyl chloride, this is benzene sulfonyl chloride, na? It will form sulfonamide. Here particularly this compound name is N-ethyl benzene sulfonamide. This is soluble in alkali. This is soluble in alkali. Next, secondary amine I am taking C2H5 NH C2H5 reacts with chlorine S double bond O C6H5. Same thing, chlorine and hydrogen will be removed as HCl minus HCl. Then this nitrogen is going to form bond with sulfur. C2H5 S double bond O, sorry ma, N is there. C2H5 N C2H5 S double bond O. Name of this compound is N, N diethyl benzene sulfonamide. I think you are able to see. Name of this compound is N, N diethyl benzene sulfonamide. Name of this one is N-ethyl benzene sulfonamide. This is soluble in alkali. This is not soluble in alkali. Insoluble in alkali. This is a solid which is not soluble in alkali. Okay. Next, this is primary amine. This is secondary. Tertiary amines won't undergo reaction with benzene sulfonyl chloride. Tertiary amines will not undergo reaction with benzene sulfonyl chloride because in tertiary amine R, N, R, hydrogen is not there. Generally, if you see hydrogen present on this amine will be eliminated with chlorine as HCl. Here also hydrogen is there. Hydrogen with chlorine will be eliminated as HCl. But here in tertiary amine, it does not contain hydrogen. That's why it won't undergo reaction. Now, this Hinsberg reagent is used to differentiate primary, secondary, and tertiary amines. This Hinsberg reagent is used to distinguish primary, secondary, and tertiary amines. In what way? First, we will undergo reaction with primary amine and benzene sulfonyl chloride. We will get a compound. For that compound, we will add alkali. base. That compound is soluble. If it is soluble, we will confirm it as primary. Next, secondary amine reacts with benzene sulfonyl chloride. That means Hinsberg reagent is there in laboratory. We will take this amine. To that we will add Hinsberg reagent. It will undergo reaction to form product. That product is not soluble in alkali. After formation of the product, we will add alkali one. If it is not soluble, it is secondary amine. If it is soluble, primary amine. If the amine does not undergo reaction with benzene sulfonyl chloride, that means with Hinsberg reagent, that is tertiary amine. Okay, ma? In this way, we can differentiate primary, secondary and tertiary amines by using Hinsberg reagent. So, primary amine reacts with Hinsberg reagent to form a compound which is soluble in alkali. That one we will add from extra, outside. Same way, this one, secondary amine, is going to react with benzene sulfonyl chloride to form one compound, sulfonamides only. This is not soluble in alkali. By seeing that, by adding even how much alkali also, it will not be soluble. By seeing that, we can understand it is secondary amine. If that amine does not undergo reaction with benzene sulfonyl chloride, it is nothing but tertiary amine. Okay, ma? This is called Hinsberg reagent or Hinsberg test to differentiate primary, secondary, tertiary amines. Okay, this is reaction 6. What is the thing it is responsible? See, this is the compound which is formed by the reaction of primary. This compound has nitrogen with hydrogen, which is adjacent to sulfur bonded to highly electronegative atoms, oxygen. Okay, we will do one thing. First thing is, you can note down all these things. Hinsberg reagent, how it is getting differentiating primary, secondary and tertiary amines. Okay, the compound what is formed by reaction of this primary amine with Hinsberg reagent, that is soluble in alkali. By seeing that, we can understand that is primary. If it is not soluble in alkali, secondary. If amine itself, it will not undergo reaction with Hinsberg reagent, that is tertiary. So, okay, remember like that. What is the reason this is getting soluble and what is the reason this is not getting soluble? That one I will explain in next class, ma. Even this one I explained why this is not undergoing reaction with Hinsberg reagent. Okay, I will start with next explanation of this one. After that, we will go to next property. This is chemical property 6. I think few more are there. By that, amines will be completed by next class, ma. Okay. Thank you all. Have a nice day.